Much. Joining me now to speak about this and other topics, Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland. He serves on both the Judiciary and Oversight Committees, both with big roles investigating the president in these next couple of years. Congressman, thanks for taking the time this morning.
Good morning, Jim.
So you're in the midst of your own fight, your committee getting trying to get Trump officials to testify before you, but also get access to these documents there. I wonder what your committee is prepared to do, as Trump is clearly prepared to fight this, he says, all the way to the Supreme Court. And are you willing to threaten to put people in jail if they don't abide by these?
Well, I actually serve on two committees that are in conflict with the administration about its new policy of trying to choke off all production of documents and witnesses to the legislative branch of government, the Judiciary Committee and the Oversight Committee. Mm-hmm. I think both of our committees are going to vindicate the people's interest in getting to the truth of the different kinds of corruption and lawlessness that are engulfing the Trump administration. So we will use the subpoena power. We will enforce subpoenas. We will go to court if we need to charge the administration with criminal and civil contempt. We also have the inherent contempt power that Congress has used as long ago as the 19th century to declare that people are in contempt of Congress by not complying with us. So, we consider this a really scandalous and unprecedented situation that the administration has thrust us into.
As you know, the Attorney General is meant to testify before one of your committees on Thursday. He doesn't like that he might take questions from staff attorneys there and says that he won't abide by those, but by that request. What is the status of those negotiations? If they are negotiations, will he testify on Thursday?
Well, it's up to Congress, of course, to define the scope of questioning and the format of questioning and hearings. And so the procedure we announced was that each member would ask questions for 5 minutes according to tradition, and then we would have lawyers both for the Democratic side and the Republican side question for 30 minutes. There's nothing outside of the norm about any of that, and we have demonstrated that there are lots of cases where that's what committees have done, and yet the Attorney General seems to want to dictate to us how we're going to conduct our hearing. And again, we don't live in a monarchy and we don't live in a presidential autocracy. We're the lawmaking branch of government found in Article 1, and we're not going to allow that to happen. And so the Attorney General is going to have to accept our terms. We didn't get to write his 4-page propaganda memo about the Mueller report. That was up to him to do. He chose to do it in a particular way, but we will control the hearing that we have.
As you know, and I'm sure you've heard this, GOP Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham, he told my colleague Manu Raju yesterday that Dems are political hacks in their pursuit of more information from the president. What's your response?
I have no response to that. That's kind of beneath the level of debate, even for Mr. Graham, I think. Look, we are trying to vindicate the central role of Congress in dealing with the executive branch, which is to conduct oversight into what's happening. The Oversight Committee has a whistleblower who came to us, Tricia Newbold, who tells us that 25 people whose applications for high security clearance was rejected got security clearance because of the political intervention of the White House. And now the White House and the executive branch are refusing to turn over any documents about any of these cases, and they're refusing to produce any witnesses to us. We want to have Don McGahn come and testify in the Judiciary Committee about the fact that President Trump told him to go and fire the special counsel, which is a cardinal act of obstruction of justice, and yet the White House is now pulling the plug on that, attempting to interfere. They're going to court to try to stop Deutsche Bank from producing documents that have been requested by the Intelligence Committee, and they're trying to stop the House Ways and Means Committee from getting the president's tax returns, which we are legally entitled to. So what's happening here is that the obstructionism that we about in the Mueller report within the Department of Justice by the president has now come galloping off the pages, and it is confronting Congress at every turn. The Ways and Means Committee, the Finance Committee, the Judiciary Committee, the Oversight Committee. The president is simply refusing to participate and to do his lawful duty. And we are going to follow this until we are able to do our jobs.
Galloping obstruction of justice. I'm going to let you trademark that, Congressman. That's
all right. You can
stick with that.
spread it out there.
All right.
This is our
Thank you for your
reality.
time.